You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Security Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Network-based indicators are observable signals within network traffic and infrastructure that suggest malicious activity may be present. These indicators can appear in many forms: unusual port usage, abnormal patterns of communication, or irregular data flows. Unlike host-based indicators that focus on changes within a single machine, network-based indicators provide visibility across environments, revealing how systems interact. Because attackers must move data, issue commands, or connect to external servers, their activity inevitably produces signals on the network. By monitoring these signals, defenders can detect compromises that might otherwise remain hidden. Network-based indicators thus serve as an indispensable layer of detection in modern cybersecurity. Network telemetry is essential because it captures the raw information needed to identify suspicious behaviors. Telemetry includes logs, flow data, and metadata that describe who communicated with whom, when, and how often. Even without inspecting content, telemetry reveals patterns that stand out against normal baselines. For example, a sudden surge in outbound connections or repeated attempts to access blocked domains may indicate malware activity. Telemetry provides defenders with the visibility to distinguish noise from meaningful anomalies. Without it, attackers operate in the dark, able to move laterally or exfiltrate data unnoticed. Effective defense depends on comprehensive telemetry collection and analysis. Common traffic indicators include the use of unusual ports, sudden spikes in connection attempts, and abnormal protocols. Malware may communicate over non-standard ports to evade detection or masquerade as legitimate services. Spikes in connections, such as hundreds of outbound requests within seconds, may indicate botnet activity or scanning attempts. Abnormal protocol usage, like HTTP traffic inside environments that should only use secure HTTPS, also raises red flags. These traffic-level indicators act as the first signs of compromise. While not definitive on their own, they become powerful when correlated with host or user activity. Observing them closely helps defenders catch threats early. Beaconing behavior is one of the clearest network-based indicators of malware. Beaconing refers to periodic, consistent outbound connections from a compromised host to an external server, often a command and control (C2) system. The regular timing of these connections distinguishes them from normal human-driven traffic, which is more irregular. Attackers use beaconing to maintain contact with infected machines, sending instructions or receiving stolen data. Even if the contents are encrypted, the pattern of communication is often detectable. Identifying beaconing requires long-term observation of traffic flows, but once spotted, it provides strong evidence of compromise and a path to disrupt attacker control. Lateral movement indicators appear when attackers attempt to spread across internal systems. This often involves unusual use of protocols like server message block, SMB, or remote procedure call, RPC. For instance, if a workstation that normally never communicates with file servers suddenly initiates multiple SMB sessions, defenders should investigate. Similarly, administrative traffic appearing between non-administrative hosts can point to credential misuse. Lateral movement is essential for attackers seeking to escalate privileges or reach sensitive assets, so its detection is a critical defensive priority. Spotting these indicators early can prevent attackers from turning one compromised machine into an enterprise-wide breach. Data exfiltration patterns are another important set of network indicators. Attackers stealing data often generate large or irregular outbound transfers, sometimes directed to unusual geographic regions or obscure servers. A sudden increase in traffic outside business hours may also be suspicious. Sophisticated attackers may try to blend in by trickling data out slowly, but even these low and slow methods leave detectable footprints over time. Monitoring transfer sizes, destinations, and timing helps defenders identify when sensitive information may be leaving the environment. Data exfiltration indicators are especially critical because they point not just to compromise but to material loss. DNS-based indicators provide defenders with another valuable lens into potential compromise. Unusual query patterns, such as domains with long, random-looking strings, may indicate the use of domain generation algorithms (DGAs) by malware. Fast flux domains, where IP addresses associated with a domain change rapidly, often point to botnet infrastructure. Repeated DNS queries for non-existent domains are another red flag, as malware sometimes tests for connectivity by probing attacker-controlled addresses. Because DNS is fundamental to nearly all network traffic, its misuse becomes a reliable signal of malicious behavior. DNS indicators complement other telemetry, catching threats that evade port or protocol-based monitoring. Suspicious tunneled traffic and non-standard encapsulation are also signs of compromise. Attackers may encapsulate malicious traffic within legitimate protocols, such as hiding command and control traffic inside DNS or HTTP to bypass security controls. Unusual tunneling tools may also be used to create hidden channels for exfiltration. Indicators include mismatched protocol behaviors, unexpected payload sizes, or encrypted traffic flowing over ports not typically used for secure communications. Detecting tunneled traffic requires a baseline understanding of normal protocols in use, as attackers rely on defenders ignoring anomalies. Spotting these hidden channels can expose attacker persistence and ongoing data theft operations. Baseline network behavior provides the necessary reference point for spotting anomalies. Without an understanding of what normal looks like, unusual traffic cannot be distinguished from legitimate variants. Baselines include expected volumes, communication patterns, and common destinations. By establishing and updating baselines, defenders can quickly identify when behavior deviates in suspicious ways. For example, if a workstation suddenly initiates outbound SSH connections for the first time, that deviation becomes meaningful. Baselines are dynamic and must evolve as networks change, but they remain central to detecting indicators. They transform raw telemetry into actionable intelligence by providing context for anomalies. Network-based indicators play a vital role in the early detection of compromise. Host-based evidence may emerge only after malware has executed, but network signals often appear as soon as communication begins. Attackers cannot steal data or control systems without leaving traces on the network. Recognizing these signals allows defenders to intervene before full exploitation or exfiltration occurs. Early detection also reduces the cost and scope of incidents, as containment is easier when attackers have not yet spread widely. By focusing on network-based indicators, organizations gain an advantage in spotting intrusions while they are still in progress. Even when traffic is encrypted, meta-indicators remain valuable. Encrypted flows still reveal endpoints, timing, and volumes, all of which can signal suspicious behavior. For example, a workstation that suddenly begins exchanging encrypted traffic with a foreign IP at regular intervals may be beaconing, even if the payload is hidden. Attackers rely on encryption to conceal contents, but defenders can still analyze metadata effectively. Monitoring encrypted traffic patterns provides visibility without breaking confidentiality, striking a balance between privacy and security. Meta-indicators prove that encryption does not render networks opaque. Observable patterns remain powerful for threat detection. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Flow-based indicators such as NetFlow or S-Flow records provide summaries of network connections without capturing full packet contents. They record metadata like source and destination IPs, ports, and the amount of data transferred. This condensed view is invaluable for spotting unusual traffic patterns at scale, such as large outbound transfers or unexpected cross-segment communication. Flow records are less resource-intensive than full packet capture, making them practical for enterprise-wide monitoring. While they may not reveal payloads, they highlight anomalies worthy of deeper inspection. By focusing on who is talking to whom and how often, flow-based indicators help defenders uncover patterns that suggest reconnaissance, exfiltration, or command and control activity. Packet-level indicators provide more detailed visibility, offering the ability to analyze payloads and detect specific malicious content. Deep Packet Inspection (DPI) allows security systems to look inside packets for signs of malware, exploit attempts, or policy violations. For example, DPI may reveal an attacker tunneling commands within HTTP traffic or exfiltrating sensitive files disguised as normal content. While packet-level analysis is resource-intensive, it is indispensable when precise detection is needed. This level of scrutiny complements flow-based monitoring by confirming suspicions and providing granular evidence. Together, flow and packet indicators form a layered approach, balancing broad coverage with deep detail for comprehensive network defense. Signature-based detection remains an important but limited tool for network security. Systems like intrusion detection systems (IDS) rely on signatures to match known attack traffic, such as specific exploit payloads or malicious domain names. These detections are fast and accurate for threats already documented in databases. However, attackers adapt quickly, altering traffic slightly to bypass signatures. Polymorphic malware and zero-day exploits often evade these controls entirely. Despite these limits, signature-based detection still adds value when paired with modern approaches. It acts as the first line against known threats, while behavioral and heuristic methods provide coverage against novel or obfuscated attacks. Behavioral detection enhances network monitoring by analyzing baselines and applying anomaly scoring. Instead of looking for known bad traffic, these systems identify deviations from expected behavior. For example, a workstation sending large amounts of data to an unfamiliar server after hours may be flagged as suspicious. Anomaly scoring systems evaluate multiple features like volume, timing, and destinations to assess whether activity falls outside normal ranges. While this method may generate false positives, it excels at uncovering zero-day threats or sophisticated attacks that lack signatures. By combining baselines with adaptive algorithms, behavioral detection transforms subtle deviations into early warnings of compromise. Enriching network indicators with threat intelligence provides essential context. Observables such as IP addresses, domains, or file hashes gain meaning when compared against reputation feeds. If a suspicious outbound connection matches a domain known for command and control, defenders can act with greater confidence. Threat intelligence also helps prioritize alerts by distinguishing between routine anomalies and confirmed malicious activity. Integration with SIEM platforms enables automated correlation, reducing analyst workload. By combining local telemetry with global intelligence, organizations connect individual indicators to broader campaigns. This enrichment turns raw data into actionable intelligence, linking small anomalies to confirmed adversary infrastructure. Correlation of multiple indicators reduces false positives and strengthens detection accuracy. A single anomaly like a spike in outbound traffic might have a benign explanation. However, if paired with DNS queries to suspicious domains and unusual authentication attempts, the case for compromise becomes far stronger. Correlating host, network, and user indicators provides a holistic view of events, revealing patterns attackers cannot easily disguise. Automated systems that connect diverse signals accelerate detection and response, moving from isolated alerts to coherent incident narratives. Correlation ensures that defenders act on evidence, not noise, improving both efficiency and confidence in security operations. Prioritization of alerts based on asset criticality ensures defenders focus on the most impactful risks. A suspicious connection from a test environment does not carry the same urgency as anomalous traffic from a production database server. By linking network indicators to asset inventories in business context, organizations ensure that resources are directed where they matter most. Prioritization frameworks reduce analyst fatigue, preventing critical alerts from being buried in noise. They also align security with organizational priorities, demonstrating to leadership that detection efforts protect key business processes. Effective prioritization turns a flood of raw indicators into a manageable stream of actionable insights. Retention and storage of network telemetry are crucial for forensic use. Many attacks unfold over weeks or months, and without historical data, defenders cannot reconstruct the full timeline. Retained telemetry enables investigators to trace lateral movement, exfiltration, or early reconnaissance long after the initial compromise. While full packet capture is often impractical, storing flow records, logs, and enriched metadata provides sufficient context for investigations. Retention also supports regulatory compliance, as some industries require detailed activity records. By treating telemetry as both a real-time and historical resource, organizations preserve the evidence needed to understand and respond effectively to attacks. Privacy considerations must be addressed when inspecting network traffic. Deep inspection can reveal sensitive information, such as personal communications or business secrets, raising compliance and ethical concerns. Regulations like GDPR emphasize the need to balance security with privacy rights. Organizations must ensure that inspection is proportional, targeted, and compliant with legal frameworks. Encryption complicates this balance further. While defenders seek visibility, breaking encryption indiscriminately risks violating trust. Privacy-conscious approaches may focus on metadata, reputation checks, and anomaly detection rather than full content inspection. By embedding privacy into detection strategies, organizations protect both systems and the people using them. Automated workflows, often implemented through security orchestration, automation, and response (SOAR) platforms, transform high-confidence network detections into immediate actions. For example, an outbound connection to a confirmed malicious IP can trigger automatic blocking at the firewall, isolate affected endpoints, and generate an incident ticket. Automation reduces response time drastically, containing threats before they escalate. It also standardizes actions, ensuring consistent handling of recurring scenarios. While automation must be carefully tuned to avoid overreaction, it enhances defenders' ability to act decisively. SOAR workflows turn network indicators from passive alerts into active levers of defense, scaling response capacity across large environments. Network indicators should always feed into broader incident response playbooks. Detection is only the first step. Structured processes must guide containment, eradication, and recovery. Playbooks ensure indicators trigger not just technical action but also communication, documentation, and escalation. For example, evidence of data exfiltration should prompt both containment and notification to compliance teams. Integrating indicators into response workflows ensures consistency, accountability, and speed. Playbooks also provide training opportunities, building confidence before crises occur. By embedding network indicators into end-to-end response strategies, organizations bridge the gap between early detection and complete resolution. In conclusion, network-based indicators are critical inputs for detection and investigation. Flow and packet-level monitoring provide visibility, while signatures, behavioral baselines, and threat intelligence add depth. Correlation, prioritization, and automation transform raw data into actionable signals, reducing noise while accelerating response. Retention ensures defenders can investigate long-term campaigns, and privacy considerations guide ethical practices. Above all, network indicators feed into broader incident response, connecting detection with resolution. Without them, organizations operate blindly. With them, they gain visibility into attacker actions as they unfold. Network indicators remain one of the most effective tools for uncovering compromise across modern, complex environments. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.